Whenever you're ready, remember, after I'm done talking or anyone's making noise, just give 5 seconds and then start into it.
Right, so I don't need to introduce myself. Do you want me to do some of the thing like one of the first companies we visited, blah, blah, or do you want me to just talk about it?
That's why the text is gonna set up your discussion.
Great,
So you're
got
gonna
it.
put on there, in the text, we're gonna talk about, whatever, offshoring to Ireland. And then you're gonna
Okay.
get into these things about offshoring to Ireland. So
All right.
the text is gonna set up your prezo.
Okay. Ready? So, cut. AOL initially established its call center and software local. Okay, I have to get the head around that. So, one, stop. AOL initially set up shop in Ireland in the late 1990s, focused on low value add activities, particularly in the areas of running a call center operations for AOL's international ISP business and software localization for that same international ISP business. Interesting to note that those businesses were in England, in France, and in Germany. AOL never had a consumer-facing business in Ireland. Ireland was a draw for AOL because of their corporate tax rate and their highly educated English-speaking population, which was the main draw for much of the foreign direct investment in Ireland in the late 1990s. However, over time, as AOL's business evolved and those ISP businesses in Europe slowly died, and the Dublin economy, along with Ireland's economy as a whole, grew, Dublin quickly ceased to be cheap. Software localization ceased to be a core activity for AOL, and those operations in Ireland had to dramatically reinvent themselves, essentially, in order to stay relevant. And this is where the visit to the AOL business in Dublin was particularly interesting, because we heard a lot from people in Ireland about the Ireland economy and their struggle to move up the value chain as they ceased to be cheap. And AOL is a perfect example of that. The call center business there was shuttered completely. All those jobs went away as that ceased to be interesting at all. And as AOL moved into their free business model and stopped localizing these software, the AOL software, Angus MacLean, who heads the office in Dublin, did a wonderful job of transforming their workforce to focus on our AOL search technologies, which are core to AOL's Google partnership, finance technologies, personalization, which is an area that AOL has a tremendous amount of IP, and other technical innovations in web development rather than the software localization. Through that process, Angus even led to the outsourcing of all that software localization to cheaper businesses in Eastern Europe and India. Again, as I mentioned, the call center operation was completely closed down, and yet the software development center in Dublin that Angus runs is now more prosperous, has more people, and is more secure and more of a core part of AOL's operations than it was when the center was initially established, showing you that even through the corporate changes of AOL, through the business environment changes through Ireland, that these types of models can in fact sustain themselves. And I think will be an interesting challenge when you were to compare that to, say, the Intel situation in Ireland, another place we visited, where they're about to face the same changes that AOL went through, and it'll be interesting to see if they can be nearly as successful. Thank you very much. It's about a minute and a half.